God's story. God's story. So there are lots of parts of God's story, but let's take a look at the whole story. At the beginning of time, God created a perfect home, and He made us in His own image, so we could live there and be close to Him. The first two people, Adam and Eve, actually walked and talked with God. They loved God and God loved them. He gave them everything they needed. But unfortunately, God had an enemy, and he tricked Adam and Eve into thinking they didn't really need God. He told them they could take care of themselves. So Adam and Eve stopped trusting God, and they chose to disobey Him. When they made that choice, all the wrong things in the world began, like meanness, and sickness, and sadness, and death. Even worse, Adam and Eve's bad choice separated them from God. And that means everybody else who was born after them, which is everyone, is separated from God too. But guess what? God didn't want to be separated from us. He loves us. So He planned a great rescue to get rid of the death that keeps us from Him. Now, God decided to send the rescuer through a family. And the first two people in the family were named Abraham and Sarah. They had to wait many years for the son God promised them. But God kept His promise, and finally, Isaac was born. Through Isaac, God's family got bigger and bigger. But even though they were God's special family, they weren't perfect. Isaac's son Jacob tricked his twin brother Esau. Joseph got thrown into a pit and sold by his own brothers. God asked Moses to save his family, but at first, Moses said no. And the Israelite kings? They made some really bad choices. But God knew the rescuer would change everything. And He loved His family, even though they messed up. Over and over, He showed them what their rescue would be like by saving His family when they were in trouble, and even telling them what to expect. He told them the rescuer would be a king, and that king would rescue everyone from all the wrong things in the world. All the pain and sadness, even death. Well, finally, hundreds of years later, Jesus the rescuer was born, just like God promised. People were surprised when He showed up as a baby, born in a manger with animals. They expected a mighty warrior. But Jesus was a king, all right, and He showed us what it's like in God's kingdom. Jesus did miracles like make sick people healthy, and feed hungry people, and even bring dead people back to life. That's because in the kingdom of God, nobody is ever sick, or sad, or hungry. Nobody dies. And Jesus brought the kingdom of God to us. Then Jesus did something nobody expected. He took our punishment of death. Remember, we deserve to be separated from God by death because we do wrong things. Jesus didn't deserve to die because He was perfect. The exciting part is, Jesus came back to life. He completely